Hello guys, welcome to the channel. Today let's see how we can install Elasticsearch, Logstash and Kibana in our Ubuntu machine. So let's get started. So before installation we need to install few dependencies. First and foremost we need to install Java. So let's first go to sudo 9347 apt install default JRE default JDK. So first let's install default JRE and JDK. I will continue the video once the installation is done. So the Java installation was successful. Let's check Java version, Java version. So Java is successful. Now let's install curl apt install curl. So I already have curl installed. Now I'll add apt repository. Once apt repository is added, now let's add the elastic to the source list file. So I'll clear this out. Now what we will be doing is update apt update. So the update is successful. Next, so using this command, let's install Elasticsearch. So we have installed Elasticsearch successfully. Now what we will be doing is we'll go to the directory where Elasticsearch is located, that is /etc/Elasticsearch. So if we see, we have the configuration file for Elasticsearch, that is elasticsearch.yaml. Let's make some modifications in it. So the first and foremost change we will be performing is the network host. So what I'll be doing is I'll open a new terminal. I'll check what's my IPA. So my IP address is 192.168.68.11. So I will add the IP 68.11. So and the next modification is we have to open the port HTTP port 9200, and then in the section discovery let's add the line discovery dot type single node. So once this is done, we are good to go. Let's save this file and let's now start the Elasticsearch. Sorry, before starting Elasticsearch we have to make one more modification, that is JVM options. In the JVM options section, let's write minus capital X ms 512m minus x mx 512m. Once this is done, so in JVM options file it's xms s not x, one will be s and one will be x. So let's save this. We can restart the Elasticsearch. Our Elasticsearch has started successfully. Now let's enable Elasticsearch systemctl enable Elasticsearch. So the Elasticsearch successfully enabled. Let's check the status systemctl status Elasticsearch. So we can see it's active and running. Now what we will be doing is let's use curl command to get the output of Elasticsearch. Curl minus x get will supply the IP address 192.168.68.11, I guess. Yeah, 68.11, and port number will be 9200. So if our Elasticsearch is successfully up and running, we must get an output somewhat similar to like this, where the tagline will be for search. So once Elasticsearch is successfully installed up and running, now let's install Logstash. We can use apt to install it, apt install Logstash. Before that, I'll go back to the directory, apt install Logstash. So the Logstash is successfully installed. Now let's clear this out and start systemctl start Logstash, and let's enable Logstash. So Logstash is successfully enabled. Now what we'll be doing is let's install Kibana. So apt install Kibana. So our Kibana installation is successful. Now let's go to the directory where Kibana is located, that's etc Kibana. Ls. We can see a configuration file for Kibana. Let's make some modifications. Kibana.yaml. Let's first open the server port and let's set the server host to the Ubuntu IP 192.168.68.11. So after this, let's go to here and set our elastic host to from localhost to Ubuntu IP, that's 192.168.68.11. check your IP and update in the similar manner. And next, nothing else to change over here, so let's exit and let's restart Kibana. Systemctl restart Kibana. So let's check the status. So we can see Kibana is up and running. Let's open our browser. So let's type in the IP 192.168.68.11 and port number 5601, which is Kibana's port. And let's wait. So we can see Kibana dashboard is loading right now. So we have successfully installed Elasticsearch, Logstash and Kibana. How to enable XPack security and how to generate passwords. The stop Elasticsearch, systemctl stop Elasticsearch, and let's also stop Kibana. Once we are done stopping Elasticsearch and Kibana, now let's edit elasticsearch.yaml. Elasticsearch.yaml in this security. Over here, let's type the line xpack dot security dot enable is true. So the line must be exact, and let's save the file and let's now start this Elasticsearch search. Let's check the status of Elasticsearch now. So we can see Elasticsearch is running successfully. Let's open our browser. So let's type in 192.168.68.11 and port will be 9200, which is Elasticsearch port. We can see that it is prompting for a username and password. Now let's generate the usernames and passwords. Let's go to the directory cd/user/share. In this directory we must find Elasticsearch directory. See, we have the Elasticsearch directory. Let's change the directory to the Elasticsearch. Go to bin. So in the bin directory we can see a script called Elasticsearch setup password. So let's see what are the options available by running it. So let's type in --help. We have two options, one is auto and one is interactive. What happens is, if you choose the option auto, the system decides the usernames and passwords and generates random passwords. But whereas when you choose interactive, you can decide password for each and every username. So let's go with auto for the time being. So I'll type in auto, type yes. So we can see username and passwords being generated. I'll copy all this, text editor. I'll save them for the time being. Now what we'll be doing is, let's go to the Kibana directory, which is /etc/Kibana. Let's clear out everything. We know we have kibana.yaml here, so let's make a modification here. Let's apply the Elasticsearch username and password in this folder. If you come down, you can see there is something called elasticsearch.username and elasticsearch.password. So leave the username to be the default, which is kibana_system. If we go and see for kibana_system, we have a password. So let's copy the password of kibana_system. So here, Kibana_system. Let's copy this password and replace the password over here. So you can see, and let's exit, save and exit. Now start Kibana. So let's check the status. So Kibana is active and running. So what I'll be doing is, I'll go to the browser, I'll type in the IP 192.168.68.11 and I'll supply the port number 5601. So we can see it's prompting for a username and password. Let's apply the username as Elastic and password will be the password generated for Elastic username. So the Elastic is the root user. So this is how we can configure XPath security in Elasticsearch, Logstash and Kibana. See how we can install Zeek in Ubuntu machine. First let's go to this link and download Zeek source code. So I'm downloading the 5.0.10 version. You can download any version you want, and let's open our terminal. So I'll make it zoom so that it is visible. and I will change to sudo. So the first and foremost thing which we will be doing is apt-get update. Once the update is done, let's upgrade. I'll continue once the upgrade process is done. So once the upgrade command is done, let's install few dependencies. So let's install all these dependencies. Once the all dependencies are done installing, let's go to the downloads where we download the Zeek, and let's unpack it. We can see it. So tar minus xzf. So now we can see a Zeek folder being created. So let's say change our directory to the Zeek folder and run the command /configure. So once the configuration is done, the command which we need to run is make. So make commands takes some time, so wait till it's completed. I'll continue once the make command is done. So once the make command is successfully completed, now run the command make install. Once the make install is also done, what we will be doing is we will be going to the directory cd user slash local slash Zeek. Okay, so cd pin. So this directory right here is the Zeek home directory. So now what we will be doing is we will export this home directory to the bash file. So we'll edit the bash file. So at the end of the file we will add this particular line. Now let's save the file and we'll apply the changes. So dot slash rc, and let's check if Zeek is successfully installed. Zeek version, so we can see the Zeek version being returned, and we'll check where Zeek is located, which Zeek. So we can see where Zeek is also located. Path exported. Now what we will be doing is we will be changing our directory to cd etc. So the directory which we are currently right now is in user local Zeek and etc. So let's check what files are there. So we need to edit the node.cfg. So I will use the nano node.cfg. So the edit we must perform is the interface. So the interface default will be eth0. So we have to check what interface we are running currently. So I'll open new tab and check what is my IP address. So I will zoom in. So here there are two interfaces. One is loopback and another one is the interface through which I am getting the internet, that will be enp0s1. So I will be changing the interface to the interface. So check the interface on which you are getting the internet and change the interface over there and save the file. Once that is done, let's check zeekctl. Zeekctl check. So we must be getting this as the output. Zeek scripts are okay. Once we get this, we can deploy zeekctl. Zeekctl deploy. So Zeek is starting. Zeek has started now. So let's check the status of zeekctl. So zeekctl is successfully running. So now let's check what are the logs being generated. So if we go to the logs directory, there will be a directory called current, cd current, and here the logs will be generated. So for instance, let's check the log. Before that, what I'll be doing is I'll go to a browser. I'll type in google.com. Have connected. So now I'll be checking out for tail-f con.log. So we can see the logs being generated. For instance, I will go for YouTube. So we can see the logs being generated right here with different types like TCP and UDP communications and port numbers, IP addresses, and much more. Till now we have saw how to install Zeek, installation of ELK stack, and how to enable XPack security. So today what we'll be doing is let's put the Zeek logs to Kibana using filebeats. So first let's check the status of Elasticsearch and Kibana. Elasticsearch and Kibana. So we can see both Elasticsearch and Kibana are running. So what I will be doing is I have Zeek installed in my Mac OS. So in the directory user local Zeek bin, so this is the directory where Zeek has been installed. So I will put logs from my Mac OS to Elasticsearch in the Ubuntu machine. So I'll be installing filebeats in macOS. Before that, if you go to integration section and search for Zeek, so we have to add this line in the file local.zeek. So what we'll be doing is, let's go to the directory where Zeek is there right now. So I'll find where local.zeek is there, slash testing local.zeek. So we have it in the directory is this, so I'll edit using nano. So sudo nano, so let's go to the end of the file, and so over here let's add this line load @policy tuning json logs.zeek. So let's exit. So what we'll be doing is, let's check if Zeek is running Zeek CTL is running properly. So let's check Zeek CTL test. Sorry, we have to type in check. Sorry, Zeek CTL check. So Zeek CTL check, scripts are okay. So let's deploy sudo Zeek CTL deploy. So Zeek has started successfully. So what we'll be doing is, let's go to the logs directory. So if we see, we have current, so cd current, so we can see logs being generated right now. What I'll be doing is, I'll install filebeats in macOS. So cd here. So let's go to Kibana dashboard and go for Zeek logs using beats. So first let's install filebeats. Now what we must do is, we have to edit filebeats.yaml. So nano filebeat.yaml. So let's first edit this path. So the path will be where Zeek logs being stored. So if you go here, so this is the path. So pwd, so this is the path where Zeek logs are being stored. So I'll copy this directory. So pasted this. Now let's go to the path where setup dot, we have to edit in the section setup.kibana. So in the section setup.kibana, let's uncomment the host and supply the IP. So the IP address will be 192.168.68.11, which is into IP. And in Elasticsearch, supply the IP address over here, 68.11. and we have, as we have enabled the XPath security, we must turn on username and password. Password we already have saved it. So let's copy the password from the text file where we saved it. So I'll copy and paste it. Now let's exit. Yes. Now what we must do is, we have to enable the module, Zeek module. So let's copy this command and run. So let's go to C modules.d. Yes, we can see Zeek module been enabled. Let's edit nano zeek.yml. So this is for few operating systems, the var.path will be taken as wrong. So what I'll do is, I'll share the zeek.yaml code you can copy paste the same code and you can change the directory over there. So I have made modifications in the code for Zeek.yaml. I'll be sharing this. uh, what we'll be doing, let's copy this whole thing. Now let's remove Zeek.yaml file. So Zeek.yaml is not there, so let's create new one. You can do using a touch. I'll directly open the editor and save it. So Zeek.yaml, paste the code over here. Once the code is been pasted, save and exit it. So save and exit. Now what we'll be doing is, let's go back to the filebeats directory. Which directory? Now let's set up the filebeat. So dot slash. So the setup process was successful. Before starting the filebeats, what we'll be doing is, let's check how the logs are being generated. Tail minus f. Let's go with connection log, contact log. So we can see few dictionary format based logs are being generated. So what I'll be doing is, let's run filebeat minus e dot slash filebeat minus e. So we can see now the connection is been established with the Elasticsearch, and the harvest has been started. Harvest is nothing but the logs are being ported now to the Elasticsearch. So what we'll be doing is, let's click on check data. We can see the data has been successfully received. So let's go to the Zeek overview. It's loading. We can see a pie chart on network transport, a pie chart on traffic data, and we can see even the session, how many logs are being generated in a time interval, and DNS names and URLs, and even geographic data we can see. And if we go to discover section, we can see what's the filebeat logs, what logs the filebeat is collecting from Zeek also. For example, let's take this one. We can see what is the agent ID, what's the agent name, what type of agent is it, and what's the destination IP, and we can see the original Zeek log also, and IP addresses of the host. We can even get the type of operating system the host is running. Since the filebeat is running on macOS, it's showing the OS type as macOS, and we can get to know the source addresses, IP addresses, and port numbers, and from which file the Zeek logs are also being collected, we can know. So in the next video, I'll be sharing how we can do the same process using Elastic agents. Here we saw how to send Zeek logs using filebeats to ELK. So what we'll be doing is, today let's use Elastic agents to send the same Zeek data to Elasticsearch. So first I'll go to sudo su. Let's check the status of Elasticsearch and Kibana. So we can see both are running. So I'll access the Kibana dashboard. So I'll go to the management section and click on fleet. So once the fleet page load. So we can see we have to set expac.security.auth.api key enabled to true. We have already set the expac.security enabled to true. Let's add this line in the elasticsearch.yaml file. So I'll clear it out. So nano /etc /elasticsearch /elasticsearch.yml. Let's go to the end of the file. After expac.security.enable, let's add this line exit. Let's restart the Elasticsearch. So once Elasticsearch restarts, just reload the page. Wait till the Kibana page loads. Go to the fleet settings. We need to change the Elastic host, Elastic IP, Elasticsearch IP to 192.168.68.11, which is our Ubuntu IP. And let's save and apply the settings. So over here what we'll be doing is let's give http, let's just apply the Ubuntu IP itself, 192.168.68.11, and let's specify the port number to be 8220. As specified here, feed server uses port 8220 by default. Let's save the settings. So let's go to the downloads page of Elastic Agent. So as the machine is Mac, I'll download the Mac agent. You can download this specific agent as per your machine. And let's choose the quick start for now, and let's apply the feed server host as specified previously to the Ubuntu IP 168.68.11, and the port number must be 8220. Click on add host. Now generate a service token. Once your service token is generated, open new tab for the terminal page, directory where I have downloaded my Elastic Agent. My Elastic Agent is over here, so I'll just extract this file. I'll go to the directory of Elastic Agent. Now I'll just copy this whole command and paste it over here and supply the password. So yes, so as we have not enabled any certification SSL or TLS, it is showing the SSL or TLS is been disabled, and Elastic Agent has successfully started. So let's click on continue. Now what we'll be doing is let's go to the integration section. In the integrations, let's just type on Zeek. Let's go to the Zeek. As we have already added this line in the local.zeek, no need to add again. If you have not added this line in the local.zeek file, do add it and click on add Zeek logs. So we have deployed Elastic Agent on default feed server policy, and just collect Zeek logs, remove all these directories and specify where the Zeek logs are being stored. So for my machine it's /user /local /zeek /logs /current. So Before that, I'll check the status of Zeek CTL. Sudo Zeek CTL. So Zeek CTL has stopped, so I'll deploy the Zeek CTL. I'll copy this path. So we can see logs being generated over in the directory. So click on save and continue. Save and deploy changes. So the integration is successful right now. So what we'll be doing is, let's go to the dashboard and change to logs. So we can see the logs been porting. So let's go down. So we can see it's the data is coming from agent using feed server, and the host name, we have the host name also over here. So this is how we can send Zeek logs using Elastic Agent. Not only Zeek logs, we can send any integration based logs using Elastic Agent. So you can check out what all the integrations available for Elastic Agent, and you can send all these logs using Elastic Agent itself. So before that, let's go to dashboard. If we deploy Elastic Agent, right, we will get Elastic Agent matrices also. For suppose I'll choose, we can select what are the hosts available. So I'll choose this host, current host, only one host is available. So we can get what is the CPU data, and what's the memory usage, what's the output throughput, and much more data also. So that's all for today. If you like the video, do subscribe. Thank you.